So I think we can all agree that Diablo 4 launched in a pretty rough state. The game at its core is pretty fun, but it has a lot of flaws and didn't learn a whole lot from its predecessors. And after playing Diablo 3 Season 29, there's a bunch of things from Diablo 3 that were obvious omissions in Diablo 4, but also some things that I would love to see carried forward that I think would improve the game. So let's go over an example. In Diablo 4, when you go to an occultist and you enchant an item, you pop it in here and you get to pick which one of these stats you don't like, and then you can choose here which affix you want to replace that stat with. You either leave it there, or you can continue to enchant it, rerolling even further, and the cost gets exponentially greater, up to insane prices. But let's look at the same system in Diablo 3. Okay, so in Diablo 3, we come over here to the Mystic, and we get the same exact thing, the enchant screen. It's called the same thing and everything. Drop an item in here, and you choose which stat you want to replace, very much like Diablo 4. However, the one option that we missed is this right here, display possible replacement properties. You click here, it gives you a list of everything that stat can potentially re-roll, plus the ranges that it can roll in. And I feel like this one change to Diablo 4 would save so much time and energy because we would have a good idea of what we can actually get from the occultist. There's one system that I would love to see brought from Diablo 3 forward to Diablo 4. We'd have to shift it a little bit because we don't have the exact same parts in Diablo 4 that we do in Diablo 3, but let me show you. So you come over here to Kanai's Cube, and it gives you all these recipes that you can use to take your crafting materials, take your items, and rework your items that you found to get the perfect items that you want for your build. And in the endgame, the one recipe that really helps increase the power of your character is Kaldasan's Despair, which augments an ancient item. You can take any ancient item plus a legendary gem, and the legendary gems can be leveled up by finishing Greater Rifts. And then you can take 3 of the highest quality of any color gem. If you're a dexterity-based character, you take emeralds. If you're a strength-based character, you take rubies. If you're an intellect-based character, you take topaz. Or if you want more vitality, you can also use amethyst. And you take 3 of the highest quality gems, and you take the rank of the legendary gem that you use, and that gives you that much main stat on whatever piece of gear you wanted. For example, I used a rank 113 gem on this Ingiam, and that gave me a bonus of 565 dexterity, which is my main stat because I play a monk. Now, if you look at this item, it does roll with 1000 dexterity base on it, so 565 dexterity might not look like a whole lot. If you look at the Paragon system in Diablo 3, you'll see that each Paragon point in dexterity gives you 5 dexterity. So 565 dexterity works out to 113 Paragon levels, which is a pretty huge boost, and you can do it on every single piece of gear. Okay, so looking at this recipe, we need 1 legendary item, we need 1 legendary gem, and we need 3 of the best normal gems. So what could that translate to Diablo 4? Okay, so ancient items. In Diablo 4, we have normal items, we have sacred items, and we have ancestral items. So we could say, okay, this recipe needs 1 ancestral item, problem solved. And then we need 3 of the best quality gems. Okay, so I use emeralds in my weapon. So let's take 3 of these. And we have 3 royal emeralds. And then we need 1 legendary gem. Well, we don't have legendary gems in Diablo 4. We have caged hearts, but those are going away after Season 1. So what could we use instead of legendary gems? Well, legendary gems were leveled up at the end of Greater Rifts. So what do we level up at the end of Nightmare Dungeons? We level up glyphs. And these glyphs, we have a bunch that we probably will never use for our characters. So what can we do? We can level these up at the end of Nightmare Dungeons and use these in our recipes instead. And after we use them, we'll get another drop in a Nightmare Dungeon down the road. So we will replace those glyphs, but we can expend them to level up and augment our piece of gear in Diablo 4. So this would do a lot of things in Diablo 4. 1, it would give us something to go after to increase our power, to continue progressing our character. 2, it would give us something to do with all of the extra gems that we have. And 3, it would incentivize us to continue doing Nightmare Dungeons to level up the glyphs. I feel like this would give us a reason to continue playing beyond level 100, because every time that we get a new piece of gear, we would want to continue to augment it. So they could put this in the occultist, or they could make some kind of new crafting device that we can find in any major town. And this may or may not work in Diablo 4, but it's something to think about.